Hi, and welcome to another edition of Tucson Media Partners Partner Profiles. I'm Brett Fera, and I'm excited to be here today with Andrew McClarron, our local sales manager for Tucson Media Partners, which includes Arizona Daily Star and its complement of products. Hey, Andrew, nice to be here with you.
Brett, great to be here with you. Thank you so much.
So this is our chance to sort of introduce not just what you do for your clients and in terms of being in the advertising and marketing world, but also you as an individual and someone who's been in Tucson for quite a long time. So we're going to go back in time to kind of start this. And before we build into what you do here now, what was the first job you've ever held?
So my first job, I was in high school and I was asked to join a music group. So my first job was actually as a professional musician. And that was really funny because back then, I was 15 years old and I was playing in clubs and bars, a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking kind of going on. Pretty unique environment for someone that young to be in, so it was cool.
Growing up a little bit in that environment.
Absolutely, yeah. Grew up super fast, and yeah, lots of fun, lots of good memories.
And I imagine you said professional, so I'm expecting paychecks, not pizza and sodas. You're actually doing it for real at that point.
Yeah, I mean, at 15 years old, I was making like 35 grand a year. That's a lot of money for a 15-year-old. So it was awesome.
Well, and I imagine here in Tucson, especially, and being a professional musician and playing venues and live music, that that gives you some insight into your role now. I know that I've gotten to work with you on work with certain clients and accounts that are in that field and that venue. So how has that sort of shifted and helped you in your current role even today?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big perks about that was obviously playing around town. My band, we played a lot of private parties too for a lot of VIPs in Tucson. So just building out that network was really, really crucial. And being able to tap into that, in my professional career now has really paid dividends. And I try to leverage that as much as possible.
You've been with Tucson Media Partners and the Daily Star operation for 6 years now, is that right?
That's right.
So now move forward to that. Tell us more about your history with this organization and the path that led you here beyond how you started in
Sure.
the music field.
Yeah, so when I first started with the Star, I was straight out of college. I went to the U of A, studied business there, and I joined the Star as a local sales rep. And slowly kind of developed my craft, again, built that network out and climbed the ladder to, become like a digital specialist and then move into like a assistant managing role. And now here I am in my management role.
Well, it's a good segue. So let's describe that role and what your area of expertise here is, both in terms of leading the team you lead, but also in the various realms you work on with Tucson Media Partners.
Yeah, okay. So my expertise is really in digital media and in digital promotion. Again, I work with a team. I oversee a team of sales reps as well. When we go out to clients, we try to, take a holistic approach, learn a lot more about their business, and that's something that we, specialize in with Tucson Media Partners. It's not really selling tactics per se. It's really understanding the fundamental needs of a business and then taking that information and putting together customized solutions that, have proven success, but also, solutions that we stand behind and we're excited for.
Can you share a particularly memorable experience that you've had working with a client here with Tucson Media Partners? Anything that stands out that is something you really hope to either emulate or duplicate when you're going from client to client, or what you're imparting on the staff that works with you?
There's a lot of them out there. None of them really come to mind, but what I can say is every single day is a unique experience working here at the Star. Every client has different needs. What they're trying to achieve is something very unique, and so it's not a cookie cutter approach. So that's something that I've learned along the ways is, you have to be a chameleon. You have to really understand, what's important to a business owner or to an organization and adapt to that and really put together something that, again, you stand behind and you feel like will help, move the needle and whatever that needle might be, the KPIs for that particular customer.
You talked about adapting, and that's a big part of what Tucson Media Partners has shown over this particular year. Even the branding of Tucson Media Partners and evolving from the century and a half history of the Daily Star into a wider reaching operation. And this will probably harken back to some of your answers already, but what is unique about what Tucson Media Partners has to offer its clients? Is it that sort of breadth of being multifaceted, not just a newspaper, not just a digital arm, but all of these things, including an agency, everything like that?
Yeah, I think you just said it. I think you hit the nail on the head. Again, it's that holistic approach. It's going in, understanding the goals of a business. And I know I've said that multiple times, but that's really the number one thing is, if you don't understand what the goals are of an organization, then you really don't understand what channels are best used for marketing their business and growing their audience and expanding their reach as much as possible. So that's the approach that we take every single day.
So you said the M word, marketing. What's a piece of marketing wisdom that you have learned at some point in your career, whether someone shared it with you, you overheard it, that has stuck with you? And when you go on a call to meet with a client that may be brand new or established, or when you're working with one of your reps to go work on that you share with them that you know is a hallmark or a touch point for you?
Yeah. Okay. So really great question. Again, it's going back to understanding the business, going in there and doing a thorough needs analysis. Sometimes when I meet with clients and prospects, we uncover opportunities that business owner might not have considered, whether it's a particular audience or particular, marketing channels, whether it's digital or traditional marketing. It's kind of opening the eyes of these business leaders to opportunities that they might not have considered.
Back to you a little bit as we close this out. We're later in the summer right now as we meet with this audience here, but Saturday in the summer, where do we find you in Tucson? What are you doing in Tucson on a Saturday in the summer?
Yeah, nowadays it's usually at home with my young kids. I've got 2 young boys, but ideally you'd find me on a beach down in Mexico, just kind of soaking up some sun and maybe hitting some jet skis.
Rocky Point, they say that's Tucson's beach. So
yeah, absolutely.
Works.
Rocky Point's a great spot.
And then last thing, you've lived in Tucson for a couple of decades, you told me.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about living in Tucson, and why do you call it home to this day?
Tucson is, it's got that big city feel, but it's really not. And it's a great place to raise a family. There's so much to do, during the winter months when the weather's great, recreationally. So yeah, I've lived in a few other cities and I've come back to Tucson just because, I don't know, there's a place that lives in my heart that Tucson is very special.
Well, thanks, Andrew. We're glad you're here too. Andrew McClarron, our local sales manager here for Tucson Media Partners. And we want to say thanks to you for watching this episode. Please remember to like and subscribe to our social channels and follow us on YouTube. I'm Brett Fera, and thanks so much. We'll see you next time.